All right, Grant, pre-show shenanigans. The NFL, there hasn't been that much stuff going on about the NFL, so it's about time that we slip something back in NFL related into the episode, into the
Are
podcast.
are we waiting for the Max Crosby trade to be back on, and then we're
To
we're
be
right
back.
back
Oh,
in?
little did you know, I have inside information. That's what we're breaking today. Um, no, I don't. That's a joke. Uh, it would also he'd be medically just DQ'd again because the Ravens would find somebody else to go sign. But this is not about Tom Brady looking like he's better than Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts and
There's
all the other
still a
quarterbacks in
question
flag
out.
football.
There is still a question out on will a human with a torn MCL ever pass a physical? We still don't know. We do
We
not
honestly,
know.
yeah, honestly, no idea. Um, Although I would like to talk about Tom Brady looking like he could still be better than 28 of the 32 quarterbacks in the NFL from the flag football game. We can get to that. We can potentially get to that. I have a statistic for you today, Grant, which is interesting considering this year's NFL draft. All right. And by no means am I saying this is what's going to happen based on the careers of the players that are about to be drafted. But interesting fact here, Grant. Seven straight quarterbacks who've been picked number one overall have left their team by age 30. Sam Bradford in 2010, specifically quarterbacks drafted number one overall. Sam Bradford in 2010 were drafted by the Rams, left for the Eagles. Cam Newton 2011 left Carolina for the Patriots before age 30. Andrew Luck, technically asterisk here, he retired. So he did leave the team.
That is correct. That is true.
2015, Jameis Winston, Bucks to the Saints. 2016, Rams, Jared Goff, Rams to the Lions. 2018, Baker Mayfield, Browns to the Panthers. And then 2019, Kyler Murray from Arizona to the Vikings, all before the age of 30.
So does that mean Joe Burrow will be the next quarterback of your Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Or like, where's he going? Not the Raiders. They're already set.
I mean, if we go by
in a year from now, let me think. Bucks, they could be there. They could definitely be there.
It's possible. You also have Fernando. Fernando will also be in the cycle with Cam Ward.
That's a good point. Ooh, the Cam Ward second team. Now that could be a great destination. It could be a great landing spot. It could be a win-win for all parties involved. The Bryce Young new situation, where are we with that now? Now I know he saved it halfway through the year.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not out of the woodwork yet. And like a lot of these guys, they've been on second contracts. They've just been traded or
what about
released
Trevor
during this.
Where does he fall into this mix?
He's how old is he right now? 27? About there, 28?
Drafted 2020 as a 21-year-old. Yeah, 27. Should be 27.
So we have some time. I mean, ideally, he will break the streak. I believe he is. Joe Burrow, I think, was Joe Burrow one after and one before him?
One before.
One before. So Joe Burrow is currently the streak domino. Breaker, which, to be fair, given all the noise and stuff that was starting at the beginning of this offseason,
he's living up to this.
Kyler kind of made it go into the Vikings, right? And a lot of the noise was Joe Burrow doesn't want to be in Cincinnati, Vikings relations, that kind of thing. Obviously, that's faded, but it was very much prevalent.
Now, I'll say that flag football game, Everett, that was probably the most fun I've seen Joe Burrow have as a human being since the LSU national championship.
He did put his body on the line, almost tearing an ACL to get
that was
2
the
yards.
most fun I've seen Joseph Burrow have.
And you notice how no member of the Bengals organization, specifically coaching staff, was there?
Yeah,
was relevant.
We even got Joe Burrow to be joking around with iShow speed halfway through this game. I can't believe that Tom Brady flag football might be how Joe Burrow refines his love for football. It's a weird situation.
I mean, let's clarify this though. He could refine his love for football, but that might further alienate him from the Bengals, realizing, so whenever I'm around Cincinnati,
100%.
I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah. I think right now,
one problem for Bengals fans.
Anytime he thinks about the Cincinnati Bengals, he immediately thinks about retiring. The second he thinks about the Cincinnati Bengals, and considering that in like December this year, Joe Burrow, well, after that, like in January, Joe Burrow had zero knowledge Lane Kiffin was the LSU head coach. Considering he avoided that news.
To be fair, I also would have done that.
Oh, yeah. But he was truly locked into the Cincinnati Bengals. That is the only thing he thinks about year round. And it directly contributes to his hate for
well-being.
Football.
His health and wellness.
Yeah, I mean, it's directly contributing to the downfall of Joe Burrow, the man.
Yeah, I mean, like, we'll see what like he's currently the streak line, but it's not irrelevant. Now, I do think with Liam Cohn being in Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence is potentially going to hit that age 30 on that contract before they move on.
I'd imagine. But he also looked really good last year.
Joe Burrow and Bryce Young are two potential candidates to continue this trend. Joe Burrow specifically, not because he's bad and warrants moving on, but because he just doesn't want to be where he is.
He's failed by his org. The fact that Zach Taylor is still head coach is truly like...
Somehow he is the best head coach in that division right now, though.
How? How is he still there?
But somehow he's failed upwards into being the best head coach in the division.
For like one of the best quarterbacks of the generation. He gets
like how are we I don't definition of C's get degrees, gentlemen. Don't follow that advice if you're a student, but that's Zach Taylor's mantra apparently.
Yeah, we have a lot of questions there. We have a lot of questions.
But talking about the flag football stuff, unless you want to say that for the episode, I'll just say this.
Well, we can bring it up.
We can bring it. Why don't we do that?
I've got a solid take on this one.
We'll bring it up in the episode then, because I have some solid takes too. But little pre-show action there.
Without further ado, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today's episode 376, and the Sweet 16, the 2026 Sweet 16 is officially set. MLB opening day is this Thursday. We'll see when exactly you guys are hearing it. We're giving you guys some buffer time. You don't need to listen to it the day we drop it exactly anymore. But MLB opening day this Thursday. This Thursday is shaping up to be an absolute all-timer, okay? Last game of the day, we have Illinois versus Houston. Beforehand, it is Arkansas versus, or is it Alabama, Michigan? Is it Alabama, Michigan?
It's Alabama, Michigan. Wait, sorry, you're saying before Illinois?
Before Illinois, Houston on Thursday night.
Yeah, it is Michigan, Alabama by 5 minutes.
Okay, there we go.
Iowa, Nebraska by 5. Sorry. Wait. Iowa State, Tennessee is the 27th. 26 is Illinois, Houston. I'm looking at the wrong side.
There should be 4 games.
26 is 8:45 p.m. Arizona, Arkansas. That would be the
Arizona, Arkansas. Okay,
second to last game. Yes,
but we have some big time games coming down this week. But we're gonna start off quick in this flag football segment because it didn't overtake my weekend, hell no. But
you had games on one screen and the football game on the other screen.
Solid amount of Twitter content from this. But I will say, from the highlights I saw of Team USA quarterback Darrell Doucette, that guy has a specific flag football ability that no NFL quarterback has trained for. Like potentially ever. True.
And I mean, we gave him props when we saw his highlight reel.
How he starts crouch running. Okay. When he hits the crouch run, I'm like, whoa, this dude's going to slide cancel in this flag football tournament. He's going to slide cancel. Okay. He might hit a jump shot in there. This guy is so flag football.
360 no scope.
Like, he's just the perfect flag football, build everything.
No, look.
That's our cue. That's Darrell. It's him.
we've seen like highlights of him. I think like a year or two ago, we saw highlights of him. We also saw Rajon Rondo apparently is the number one ranked flag football quarterback in the United States right
Has
now.
he overtaken Darrell in the
I
depth
last
chart
I
rankings?
checked, I think we reported about a month ago that was the case. But Rajon,
I'm gonna
I
have
don't
to look
believe
up
was on this
into
team.
Team USA flag football scouting department
Scouting
prospect
department.
rankings. Let's see where our farm system lies.
I mean, Rajon Rondo, known for his passing abilities, so that translates. It does translate.
Yeah, it might be basketball on grass if
Yeah,
Rondo's out there.
it works. But the one thing I will say about Team USA, little bit difficult. I mean, I show speed. You can not Team USA. The NFL teams having I show speed. Dude is an athlete. He is fast. Not as many complaints there. You're going to handicap yourself when you got Logan Paul on your team. And then also, I think the big thing of this was like to show whether or not NFL players should be the ones who represent the United States versus the flag guys.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't know if really any of those guys that they chose, maybe really besides Tom Brady, are the athletes in the NFL that I would be like,
yeah, I was
yes,
going to say, it was
play.
mean making Luke Kuechly go out there. It was evil to Luke Kuechly's career, watching him try to go lateral, covering Daryl Doucette. He had no shot.
He also had to play next to Logan Paul. Like, you have to make up ground for everything that Logan Paul.
No, I'm saying if I am a member of Luke Kuechly's team, I'm suing. I'm suing this whole organization for letting that get out there. Because he was just put in a position to fail.
I'm more focused on Tom Brady looked still like he can ball, by the way. But just Joe Burrow, elite quarterback, not the flag football guy that you want. And Jalen Hurts, we all know, isn't really even an NFL quarterback by standards right now. So why are you picking him as the mobile guy?
Now, I'll be honest, it was quite hilarious.
Murray is quite literally the definition of the guy you want playing flag football.
It was quite hilarious. I'm not sure if you saw this. Logan Paul, he made an apology video afterwards, apologizing to different. So, like, first, it was an actual apology. Apologized to Darrell for taking off his sunglasses after a play and like throwing them. He's like, I apologize for that. Then afterwards he goes, I would then like to apologize to Jalen Hurts and his agent for stripping the ball from him and then proceeding to score a touchdown. If your future NFL contracts are harmed, or maybe the Eagles want to move off of you, I accept full blame and I'm sincerely sorry for putting that out there.
I mean, hey, that's on Jalen though. You can't, bro.
Yeah. I mean,
what are we doing? I also do think that Stephon Diggs being in that game solely was him being like, guys, sign me. Look, I can still play. Sign me, please.
His agent likely suggested it. Okay, when this agent got the invoice, like, hey, do you want to come do this flag football event? They were like, Stephon has already signed up 3 times.
You actually don't even need to pay him anything. He'll just be there.
We will pay you to get
even if you say no, Stephon will still be there.
This is a marketing expense for our team. Okay, so we will pay to get him in. But yeah, I will say I'm still interested how the rest of the world is going to shape up for this. This might just be like World Baseball Classic 3.0. Every foreign team is just the Team USA guys who didn't make Team USA.
Oh, they're just disclosing the other places that they have some affiliation
internationally, to. What is the number 2 country in terms of football? Let's take out Canada, okay, because it'd be them, I guess.
Yeah.
What would be the number 2 country?
Australia.
Australia, okay.
You could say anywhere that they got rugby too.
Well, I want to believe that, but based off Jordan Mailata's interview clips,
hey, the NFL's been putting some real effort into the UK though. So
I will just say, based on Jordan Mailata's clips of when he is talking to like his former rugby teammates and being like, guys, like, you don't understand, like, the NFL is way harder, and his former teammates are just like, you've gone soft going to America, mate. Like. Yeah, no, they truly believe football is like less physical than rugby.
Well, they see pads and they're just like, well, I'm taking straight body shots by somebody else.
Yeah, I think we just got to show those guys Ray Lewis specifically the
Miles
Chris
Garrett
Johnson
as well,
hit,
or
where he just takes Chris Johnson's head off. I mean, decapitates him like the
Cam
headless horseman.
Chancellor,
Yeah, Cam Chancellor.
Jadeveon Clowney highlights
This is
in
the thing,
college.
though. I think rugby people are like so in their own ways. They would see the Cam Chancellor Vernon Davis sideline hit when Vernon Davis is in
it goes
air.
flying.
Well, in our eyes, that dude goes flying. We know Vernon Davis weighs like 240. He's 6'5". A human that big should never be flying.
Dude, it's like a
that.
car crash.
The rugby people see that, they're like, oh, that wasn't impressive. Like, and it's just like, all right, there's nothing I can do to convince
Show Antonio Brown cleat spiking a punter.
The only way you can get them is if you showed them the Penn State, Michigan Mo Bamba whiteout entrance. And then you also need to really make sure that European understands the importance of Michigan taking a timeout there.
Hey,
because if they don't understand that importance of the timeout, the whole thing doesn't really make sense.
Do not show them OBJ losing in a fight to the fucking field goal net, though. Do not show them that.
That's a tough one to come back
Do
from.
not show them that.
But do show them OBJ paying the conductor to the LSU band to play neck to pay for their fine in advance, knowing that they would be fined by the SEC for playing the song. And Odell's like,
honestly, I fucking love that.
Here's $50K, play the song. I'm here.
This
is my off week. This is my bye week. You better play the damn song. But all right, without further ado, on to sports that happened in the world. We're gonna start off hot with March Madness. A great weekend, a great opening weekend of March Madness. We had. Was it just? Well, technically, we didn't have a buzzer beater to win. We had an OA buzzer beater to tie.
I thought we'd had one to win yesterday.
Well, okay, St. John's. Yes,
You're saying initial round 64?
I thought half court shot buzzer beater. I'm thinking SF Austin.
Well, yeah. So we had one to go to overtime. I think that was always. Kentucky. Yeah. Was that Kentucky? Uh-huh. And then we had another one that would have been to win that went in and out of the rim.
Yeah, I will say this. St. John's over Kansas was the only last second, oh my God, tournament game that I won. I'm not lying when I say this, Everett. Every single other last second I lost. I had Santa Clara. That was, forget a dagger to the chest. That was Dark Sister from Game of Thrones straight through the heart. Okay. That was, I got straight skewered off of that game. Okay. I almost ceased to exist. And then also the very first game of the tournament, I don't actually care about Ohio State basketball. But
that's a tough one.
It's so March. I get the first game of the tournament and then they lose like that. I
think the last time I watched Ohio State in the tournament was also the first round loss that they had.
Probably Oral Roberts.
Yeah. I think that was the last time. I think that might have been the last time you guys were in the tournament.
I thought so too. It was the second to last time. The most recent one, I
just out of your memory,
omitted, wiped. Like literally had zero recollection that Ohio State made the tournament since Oral Roberts. But
so they definitely didn't win.
Yeah, no. I will say though, an issue that I have that I'm going to be working on moving forward is I can't let my bracket decide my happiness for March Madness. I'm not going to have a perfect bracket. I'm not, but I can't let these games ruin my March Madness spectating. Okay, I can't let it get to me. I can't be that mentally weak.
Well, see, like that's the thing. When you live in a state where you can legally bet on games, that's how you mix and match it, because your bracket might be busted, but you can still, have that same kind of being like, okay, I have something in this the same way that you have your bracket.
And I would imagine many people betting on March Madness have bet more money on March Madness than their entry into their tournament.
Oh no, that's how you make your money back for the bracket when your bracket inevitably busts. So, but
you just look at a tournament challenge as like a plus 12 to 20 unit.
It's a futures bet. It's a futures bet.
It's a future.
It's a massive parlayed futures bet.
Yeah, and you could lose some games and still win it. It's kind of cool.
But I mean, like, I will say though, generally speaking, even if you don't bet on games, you might not care about 90% of not. I was going to say 3 out of 4 quarters, but it's not even quarters. It's halves. but you might not care about 90% of the game. But those last minute and a half, 2 minutes, if it's a close game, it doesn't matter if you have fucking money on it or not. I just care about the game because it's good. Like at that point, it's just like, oh, back and forth, back. It's entertaining.
Yeah, yeah.
And usually, at least in my opinion, it's like, oh, this team is currently losing at this point. Now I'm cheering for them to go and tie it up. And now the other team's losing. So now I want them to tie it up. And then whatever team's losing come the end of the game, like I want them to win on a buzzer beater. But I will ask you this. Last year, I think we saw a record low upset number. And obviously this year in the round of 32, we have, Tennessee beating Virginia. We have Iowa beating Florida. We have, I guess you could call an upset in Nebraska beating Vanderbilt, even though Vandy was a lower, I guess, whatever way they're seated behind Nebraska.
Yeah.
We have St. John's beating Kansas. We have Texas beating Gonzaga. We had a decent amount of quote unquote, underdogs winning in the round of 32. But I think round of 64, when you're really talking about the Cinderella stories, you're talking about the schools that nobody pays attention to. Like people know Texas, it's an SEC school. Like that's not the same value play as Oral Roberts or VCU or HP.
Oh, 100%. Right?
So my question to you is, do you feel with, NIL and the transfer portal and all this stuff, like Michigan doesn't have a single player on their starting five that is from Michigan originally? Like, do you think that that's changing how many upsets we're seeing and the value of that? Or do you think it's about the same?
100%. I think it's like, I'm thinking last year specifically. Last year was like the least amount of upsets we've ever seen in a tournament. Last year was like the most chalk bracket maybe of our lifetimes we've ever had. And going into this tournament, a lot of my theories on where college basketball is going, I was like, I don't want to be left behind. I'm bringing up 2018, 2017, when Bronson Koenig, Wisconsin bounced Villanova, as why I picked Gonzaga to beat Houston last year. I don't give a shit about the past. Doesn't matter. I think we're now in a new era of just college sports, especially college basketball, though. I think basketball really gets overlooked when your football is so prevalent to all the arguments being made. So basketball, they kind of like take a back seat and overlook it. But without question, right now, we are seeing the gap between the top teams and even the mid teams. Like forget the 12 plus seeds, just the gap between the ones and like the 7 through 10s are increasing. Now, obviously Iowa just beat Florida. That I believe is the first time a 9 seed beat a 1 seed since 2017 or 2018. So it had been like 9 years since it happened, and so this is detracting.
I don't think Iowa. I don't know if Iowa. It's either Iowa hadn't been into the Sweet 16 in like 60 years. Or something,
that was another thing.
Or they've never been. I don't remember which one it was.
Well, just when Fran McCaffrey was their coach, this is the first year Fran's not their head coach. I know this because Rico Bosco put out a tweet when Fran got fired saying the grass isn't always greener. And then in their first year post Fran McCaffrey, they go deeper, Sweet 16, further than Fran McCaffrey ever went in his career at Iowa.
Beating the former champion, the defending champ too.
Yeah. So but I think the gap is widening. And what you brought up though, that Michigan point where not a single one of their players was recruited out of high school to go to Michigan, I think that's gonna be the key thing. The stories of FAU going on a run in the past, San Diego State when they went on their run, give me like Wichita State, Loyola Chicago, all these teams when they go on these crazy runs. A lot of those teams they got multiple juniors and seniors who have been there forever, playing as a teamwork, like veteran experience together, which carries them into a tournament that doesn't really exist anymore. My example right now is Utah State, okay, just made a run, played Arizona quite close. This morning it was announced the Utah State head coach has accepted a head coaching job at Cincinnati. And I would imagine many of his players from Utah State are going with him to Cincinnati.
St. Mary's head coach also just accepted a job at ASU.
Yeah, so
same thing.
It's tough to have continuity in this sport. And when we do see some teams like with a guy who's been there forever, so Ohio State Bruce Thornton, or a better example everyone knows, Alex Caravan, UConn. We're not going to have many more Alex Caravans in college basketball. We're not going to see many more guys stick it out for 4 years at the same college and really have a amazing college basketball journey and experience like it was for us.
Well, it's like
for
even these guys who like, albeit there are definitely players who have spent their whole career on some of these smaller schools, but like even these guys who are at like HPU, at fucking Long Island, at Hawaii, at Furman, et cetera, et cetera. Like those guys transferred in from higher schools that they just weren't getting playing time. Like it's still the same thing. And like, sure, they might be older, but like they're still not being built up like chemistry, like, and that's how these schools get to the tournament. It's by having players that might have had talent that were at schools that didn't get recognition, but still at the same time, like you could argue that it's helping those schools because they're getting those players, but it also has kind of always been the thing. And if they're not seniors, they're gonna come back and they're hitting the portal. They're going to a bigger school after that 1 year.
They're just hitting the portal frequently now, and it's like I can't really blame players for this because like my example is the coaches. Like the second you get bounced out of the turn onto the net, like within 30 minutes of you getting bounced, your agent announces on your behalf you've accepted the job somewhere. Like so that's just college basketball right now. But
I mean, like we've had that kind of stuff happen. Like college football, it's been like that for a really long time. Like we've had coaches be like, moment the season's over, moment you lose the conference championship, moment you lose the bowl game, see you guys, like whatever.
Yeah, this isn't a new thing.
It's not a new thing in sports. And I mean, it's happened in college basketball, but I don't think it's necessarily been to this extent. And, it draws into question like St. Mary's and Utah State, like like that is quick, but we have always seen coaches go to better, like bigger and better pastures when schools that wouldn't normally be expected to do well, caveat being St. Mary's because they do make the tournament. But like that is normal. That it is normal. The players stuff is a little bit different though. The players are now getting into that same exact field where it's like they're showcasing themselves for other schools rather than more so like the NBA or whatever. Like if Jack Golke was a year younger when he played, I guarantee you that kid would have Kentucky, Duke, St. John's, fucking Arkansas, Florida, Michigan, Alabama, UNC, all the schools, Gonzaga, offers. I mean, I don't know if you'd stay at Oakland or not, but like offered, they'd all be giving him.
Well, in that situation, it would be very difficult for him to stay at Oakland if you're getting SEC money. Like how could you stay at Oakland?
But like my point being, like any of those guys that we've seen from small schools be like, oh, that's the darling sweetheart of like a Cinderella team that actually is playing good, not like it's Omar Khan or whoever. That's the water boy, Amir Khan. That's like aura. Like, all right, bro, fuck. But like any of those kids that like Jack Golke was actually a very good scorer. He might not be a starter on like Kentucky, but like he would certainly get PT there and like.
Oh, I think he certainly would have started, to be honest.
You think he would have? Okay, well, maybe he would have started, but like that's a completely different. Like it's a different era. It's a fully different era.
Well, I just think right now it like some of these old college basketball teams that we grew up watching and loving. A lot of their success in making these deep tournament runs are like predicated on they got 5 starters who are all juniors or seniors. They have been playing together for at least 3 years. They've been bounced out of the tournament 3 years in a row. This is their last shot. Like,
oh yeah,
you have all of these team influences coming together to help these teams go make a crazy deep run in March. But now it's kind of shifting away. It's kind of in a new, like I was thinking Florida specifically last year. They were obviously led by their guard, Walter Clayton. He was excellent the entire tournament. But in terms of those other guys on the roster, Hawk, Condon, like they were all sophomores last year. They looked like seniors and juniors, but Hawk and Condon, like they were juniors this year.
We'll see those older players on teams that like are schools that are prevalent and will pay. But like any of those underdog stories where like this is their last year, they've gotten knocked out of like tournament contention every year, last 3 years, the last time that they can make an impact. You're not going to see as many of those stories
Yeah, I'm also thinking
anymore.
just like even in terms of massive big name players, the turnover is very crazy right now. I'm thinking Arkansas specifically. Last year, Arkansas, they make a crazy run as like a 7 seed, Cal's first year. No one thought they were going to go deep. They were led by their guard, Boogie Fland. Now, Boogie was just at Florida. They obviously just got eliminated. But Boogie Fland, who's your lead scorer, he averaged like 19 a game for them last year, Arkansas. The year after, Cal knows I'm about to get Darius Acuff Jr., who's going to be the offense, freshman coming in. And Cal is sitting there just like, yeah, Boogie, you'll be my starter, but you might get 4 shots a game when Darius comes. So, like, you should probably hit the portal, to be honest. Like, I think Cal probably told Boogie, you should probably leave me, to be honest. I'm moving on from you to the new shinier toy.
That's not nothing, not necessarily something that's new though.
No. I think though, like, also the incoming crop of high school talent, ironically, I think is even more skilled right now than they've ever been. And not just this year,
but it's always gonna keep improving though.
Yes, it will only over time. But the incoming freshmen are now like so good that your 4-year college basketball stories, like they're just pushing them out. They're like, I don't want a senior. Give me the freshman 7'2" dude with a 42-inch vert and WAPs threes. I don't care if you don't know defensive rotations. You do shit that no one else can do on the court.
Yeah.
But I think basketball is just changing quickly. It's changing fast. I'm not necessarily sure if like putting like guardrails on this to like help out the trend. I'm not even sure if that will necessarily help. I think that this is just the result of basketball as a sport where that is going right now.
Yeah. Back to the tournament at hand. After said little tangent.
Yeah, Florida getting bounced, that spiced things up.
That was not really expected at all.
Yeah, for a second we were just cruising through these 1-9, 1-8 games. We needed a little hiccup like that.
I mean, like even Tennessee, like Virginia, I know didn't look good versus Wright State. And Tennessee looked much better versus Miami, Ohio. But even Tennessee beating Virginia, I think Tennessee was favorited by the time that tip-off was. But Tennessee beating Virginia was, I think, another kind of big little shakeup in that kind of lower part of the bracket.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. There is not
Texas,
one region.
Texas beating Gonzaga, too. Texas beating Gonzaga was another big
There's not one region where every 1 through 4 seed made it to the Sweet 16. Not one region this year.
Every 1 through you're saying 1, 2, 3, and 4. I got you.
Yeah. There isn't a region where the 1 through 4s all made it to the Sweet 16 in a given region. That did not happen this year.
Yeah.
I feel like last year it happened for like 3 of the regions.
Well, like we said, there weren't. It was very streamlined last year. There wasn't a single. It wasn't really many upsets like at all.
And also the 3 best teams in the country. Well, actually, I think all the 1 seeds last year on paper would have been the number 1 team in the last 25 March Madnesses if they were all in an individual year.
Oh yeah.
Like last year, the 1 seeds were like truly the most dominant set of 1 seeds we've ever seen.
Yeah, just looking at I think the 2 biggest brackets that are now kind of in a weird state are the South and the West. The Midwest and the East are both kind of like, I think the East was fairly predictable. I got all 4 of the Sweet 16 round of 32 picks right. Midwest, Bama being Texas Tech by that margin. No, I don't think anybody expected really, but
no one thought Bama was going to shit pump Texas Tech like that. No one thought they were going to shit pump them.
But I do think Tennessee over Virginia by the time that game was tip off was not unexpected. It was just
and I even remember going into it like
Tennessee is good.
There were a good amount of sites that had Tennessee projected to beat Virginia. My one concern was there were also many sites that had Miami, Ohio as the top upset for an 11 seed over a 6. And so like for that, I was just going back and forth. I was
not VCU, but that's interesting.
I know because Miami, Ohio was like 31-0. And then they dropped the first round of their conference tournament. But
yeah, so I mean,
just surprised me.
Looking at the South and the West, and I think that this is the best thing to do is projecting this, because I think a lot of the bracket has been changed because of these big upsets. Looking through that, I guess we can start with the South. I think that will be, it'll be a little bit more interesting.
I unfortunately think it's just the winner of Illinois Houston.
I agree with that. I do. I think that Iowa Nebraska as its own isolated game will be interesting. I think Nebraska.
It's a Big Ten West football game to go to the Elite Eight.
I think Nebraska will win that, but Illinois Houston.
I'm not putting anything past Iowa.
Whoever I do think whoever wins Illinois Houston's going to the finals.
Another key part. Both the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 matchups in the South region. Do you know where those games will be played?
No, I don't.
They will be played in Houston, Texas.
Would make sense at NRG.
Yeah. That's one thing I saw pre-bracket, and I was like,
would be nice for Houston. Would be very nice for Houston.
And the other thing about Houston is they're returning so many guys from last season. So they actually do fit that mold of like a senior experienced team that has been together. So they fit those molds, but they have 2 freshman players this year that are not Houston players. And I mean that in the best way possible, that they can shoot. They like to score.
That's the biggest issue Houston has always had is they don't
lack
have
of scoring.
Offense.
Yeah. But now they have scores. They're a 2 seed, but their 1 seed's bouncing their bracket.
I do think I have them going.
This is going to be their toughest. Illinois. This is a big time matchup. All right.
I think for you to go to the finals, Illinois is a very good litmus test.
I would say Illinois.
You're going to have to play Duke or UConn most likely, and this is going to be or Michigan State. It's going to be one of those 3. Really, it's going to be one of those 3. Even if you want to put St. John's in that same conversation. Those 4 teams, you're playing one of them. And the litmus test for that's going to be if you can beat Illinois. If you can't beat Illinois, you weren't even going to have a shot to probably beat any of those 4 teams.
And
maybe St. John's.
At home. So Illinois is a very fast team. They like to score. They like to shoot. Little Stojakovic is just, he turned to Peja. Okay. Little Stojakovic is like, I'm going to be my dad for the tournament. So he's just whapping threes like it's nobody's business. I think Illinois, they fit the mold of a team that could knock off Houston here. Fast tempo, high scoring, highly efficient. Their issue has been the 3 ball. They've been a little bit inconsistent. If Stojakovic is whapping it, oh goodness. But like kind of on the flip for Houston, their style of play, that contributes a lot to blowouts. If Illinois just isn't shooting, this might be A&M 2.0. It might be
I can see that. So it's also down the stretch of the second half is the big, and almost all of these highly ranked teams, like we've seen a lot of games be close in the first half. I think we've seen a lot of even big underdogs being close in the first half. And then these
they're
teams
tight going into halftime.
They pull away.
Yeah, they just separate themselves.
Yeah. Unless you're Florida. Florida, no separation for you. But a lot of the time we're seeing this pull away, and that's the thing. Like if Houston, and honestly, that's my biggest concern for Duke when we get into these bigger games, is that second half depth and offensive efficiency that you can have when you get to pull away. Yeah. And now that's what I still my bracket has Duke over Michigan State. I don't know.
I also have that.
I don't know if Duke's going to the Final Four. I know that they beat TCU by 25 points, 23 points. And they beat Siena. That was a tough game. They beat Siena by 6.
Duke is the only 1 seed in NCAA tournament history to be down double digits at halftime to a 16 seed.
I will also say, every time Duke has won the tournament, they've had to beat St. John's. So another litmus test. This is another litmus test.
That's a hilarious stat.
But the same way we're talking about Illinois being a hurdle that Houston would have to get over to prove themselves, St. John's beating Kansas is the exact same thing. If you can beat Kansas, you can beat Duke.
Yeah,
Duke with
Kansas
no
was so
depth, you could
interesting.
certainly beat Duke.
Kansas was so interesting because I was hearing it a lot. They were saying it pregame before that Kansas St. John's game, but one thing which I don't really notice as a casual, admittedly, for college basketball, I'm not aware of how goated some of these different coaches are at literal basketball coaching. I just don't
I'll
exactly
keep it on. I
know.
have zero clue. I have
Yeah,
zero
yeah,
clue.
no, I just don't
No
know.
idea.
But the like Clark Kellogg and some of the guys on CBS were saying right now in college basketball, Bill Self is the best tactician, strategist, basketball coach in the country. And how Kansas played that end of the game, I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God, this dude, Bill Self, is actually putting on a coaching clinic right now. You could teach a PowerPoint on how he's managing the end of this game. How he managed that last possession with the fouls to give and milking clock. He got absolutely boned that this dude who hadn't made a shot all night happened to just hit this layup, but he was coaching his ass off at the end there. But I think though, just that's something I don't really think about much, coaching experience and how that can really make a big difference right now in the tournament.
I think you're
And
about to make an argument based on this.
well, I think just right now, if I'm looking at the coaches left, I think you're gonna obviously have Patino in there. You're gonna have Dan Hurley in there.
Yeah.
I think my next coach on this list of guys that I'm like, oh shit, watch out, it's Kelvin Sampson, Houston.
Not Tom Izzo?
Izzo. Ooh, I totally forgot about Tom Izzo. That whole region, I mean, the worst coach in that whole region is John Shire, technically.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Technically John Shire. It is.
I would agree with that.
Oh shit! No, I'd have to say on X's and O's, I'm gonna have to put Izzo over Hurley. I'm gonna have to. How I've seen Hurley manage these past couple of games, he's not really impressed me. He hasn't really impressed me.
He's kind of sleepwalking. He's kind of sleepwalking through things right now.
Yeah, and how he's managing solo ball right now, that's a disaster over there. That dude has negative confidence in himself. I don't know how you get him back, but this is the game. You're gonna have to get it back. You're going to have to get it back. But Michigan State, I kind of overlook this. This isn't necessarily a Tom Izzo thing, but I mean, Michigan State, they got to be point guard, playmaker university. If we're just talking the Michigan State guys.
Jeremy Fears is nice.
Fears, he just set the record for assists, just not a tournament game, just a college basketball game. He just set I think it was 16 assists. Think about that. 16 assists is so much.
No, that's ridiculous.
So many. But I'm getting those vibes of this Michigan State team of a Cassius Winston Michigan State. Okay, I'm getting those vibes of a scrappy team. Now, Fears gets a lot of shit, and he's a lot more high profile, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Michigan State to go to the Final Four now.
I mean, based on what I've seen, I agree. I think
they're going to get by UConn quite easily. My other thing that I want to point out is I think these Thursday first games, it's going to be better shooting than the Elite Eight games. And so for these defensive teams like a Houston, if you just get through that first round, you should be set up quite well on that second game. Because I think the teams are starting to see some dead legs. I feel like the amount of short threes to start the second half I watched this weekend in every game, I was like, oh boy, every single dude is already gassed. But we're shaping up for an all-timer here. We kind of want these top dogs to keep on advancing here. I could do one more Texas win over Purdue because that's funny, but that's it.
I can also see but Texas being Gonzaga, like you can beat Gonzaga, you can beat Purdue. Like it's
yeah, Braden Smith's not looking too hot right now.
I just think you're just running into a wood chipper though when you go and play inevitably Arizona. Like, whoever comes out of that game, Arizona is gonna put them in a
how Arizona closed that game out against Utah State. I know they kind of let him back in, but dude, they were not missing a free throw down the stretch. I was sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, they're actually closing this shit out. Like Utah State would run down there, hit a corner three, immediate, milk 30 seconds off, get an and one. It's like, oh shit, Arizona's playing man basketball here on how to close out a game. But all right, is that gonna do March Madness?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I don't want to do a full-on Final Four and everything. Let's just
No,
take it
no,
Sweet 16,
yeah.
Elite
Take
Eight.
it bit by bit, week by week.
Yeah, at a time. But yeah, no, we'll end this. I'm not changing my Arizona Natty pick. I'm not. I'm still. I know my bracket has Arizona. I can't even change that. But for the Waterboy official picks that we do change every playoff round, I'm still
Yeah.
sticking with Arizona.
I think I'm going to sell my final four. I'm keeping Arizona over Houston right now.
In
I'm
the
doing
championship game.
in the championship. Changing my final four to Arizona over Michigan.
Yeah, that
Used to
stays.
have UVA. Yeah.
Oh.
And well, I had it at Michigan over Arizona, and then I had a confidence issue when I saw that Michigan's offensive efficiency had dropped by like 40 points in the last month. So I took them fully out, but scratch that. I have Arizona over Michigan, and I'm going to have Houston over Michigan State.
Okay.
So the Michigan matchup, both lose with an opportunity to go to the finals on the line. But all right, Grant, let's wrap up this episode with a opening day baseball season preview, Dodgers talk. Interesting to see. I don't know what you want to say. The biggest news of the week relating to the Dodgers is, if you want to start with the Dodgers or just start with baseball in general.
We could just do baseball as a whole. It'll definitely get Dodgers oriented, but MLB opening day coming up. This is also first. We got a Netflix Wednesday opener, guys. Okay, so this is gonna be a first. Netflix is now in. Also, I'm pretty sure Dodgers debut.
Jameis Winston will be on the Netflix broadcast. I'm pretty sure.
The baseball broadcast?
Yes, the baseball broadcast. The baseball broadcast.
Okay, we're in for a treat.
Yeah, he will be on. I thought it was opening night baseball broadcast. I don't know if it's the Netflix one or another one, but I think it's. I think it's that.
It could be NBC. Was that who Jameis did his? When did Jameis do that? Like 1 week? Was that with NBC? Who did he do?
Talking about the 1 week thing where it was for the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. So it is NBC. It is NBC. Everett, do you know who's playing the very first Sunday? It will be Thursday night baseball, but NBC has Sunday night baseball. But you know who's going to be playing the very first NBC baseball game? I think of our lifetimes. I don't think NBC's had baseball in our lives until now.
Is it the Dodgers?
It's the Los Angeles Dodgers going up against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So we get Jameis Winston. Oh my God, Everett!
I don't know if he's commentating. I think he might just be on like the panel that they do the.
He better be calling this damn game.
Hey, take it with a grain of salt. That's Waterboy Analytics. I'm not entirely sure.
I want Jameis on play-by-play. I need him narrating. I need him tracking the ball into the outfield. I need him describing what's going on.
Yeah.
This could be all time. Jameis might save baseball. If you want the kids to watch baseball, you might need Jameis Winston talking. You might. I don't know how.
I mean, yeah, it is certainly entertaining. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I don't know how else, but we're.
Yeah, hold on. I have the official statement. Jameis Winston on opening night. The New York Giants quarterback will be a special guest for Yankees versus Giants on Netflix. Okay, so live on Netflix, March 25th. Special coverage starts 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific.
This is massive. This is massive. Wow. Ooh. How much clowning is Jameis going to do to Aaron Judge? Because, he's not really in a position to clown
over under, he
athlete.
Does the W. Over under, he does the W.
Oh, he's eating a W. He's eating a W.
Crab legs.
That game. 100%. But okay. MLB season, I'm just starting off. Going to be taking just a quick look at Fangraphs, who is a notoriously conservative projections website. So they will underreport what they actually think. They don't want to go crazy with any of their numbers. They like to go a little lower than what's probably going to happen. For this upcoming season, Fangraphs has Dodgers at a 96-66 win-loss record. That's a very high projection. Fangraphs does not usually drop out 95 pluses like that. But they are saying second place, a tie between Mets, Braves, and Mariners at 88 wins. They're saying 8 wins back of what
on the Braves.
Dodgers, yeah, Mets, Braves, and Mariners at 88. Dodgers at
Okay,
96.
Mariners, I can understand. Cal Raleigh hype. Mets also, just generally speaking, money stuff. I get that. Braves is interesting how last season went. I know Acuna is coming back, but like he didn't even look that great when he was back.
Yeah, they
Up
had
to
a lot of
Acuna's standards.
injuries.
So
They had a lot of injuries. Acuna, Spencer Strider as well. I mean, Dodger
yeah,
fans, we are we walked into a miracle that Spencer Strider's elbow decided to cease to exist about 20 months ago. He just decided we're done, son. So we're very lucky that that happened because the MLB playoffs right now should be a Dodgers Braves NLCS series of a lifetime every year, and we have not been getting that.
which
Uh,
is, I mean, hey, going for the three-peat, you got to go through a juggernaut sometimes.
yeah, I think what I'm very interested in, they got Mets 88, Braves 88, and Phillies 87. So like they're pretty much saying NL East is once again up for grabs. Uh Realistically, the winner of the NL East is going to have 90, 91, 92, 93 wins. But they're not
Probably.
just picking one yet. But I'm thinking right now of potential threats for this upcoming season, and nothing's really striking me. Right now, Padres projected 79 and 83. D-backs projected 81 and
I
81,
feel like that's
500
a
on the dot.
very low projection for the pot, like very, very low.
Very low. Very low. Uh yeah, right now Fangraphs is saying that this should be a bit of a runaway for the Dodgers, which
Yeah. I mean, I
I
get.
understand it. Very
Yeah.
understandable. I think that this year the key to the Dodgers season, I've been saying it past couple of years, a key player, pitcher or hitter. In the past, I've been saying Will Smith a lot recently, and for good reason, healthy a lot. I think this year, the key to the Dodgers' success and their key to the Dodgers being a juggernaut this year, it's going to be a slight cop out answer. Uh,
Okay.
but it's going to be both Teoscar Hernandez and like a hybrid, whoever the second baseman is, and the Andy Pajes / Kike spot. The end of the lineup this year is going to need to keep the line moving. There's going to be injuries, obviously. Some star player is going to miss time. Someone will. And last year, although he was awful in the postseason, I think statistically one of the worst postseason hitters of all time. Andy Pajes carried the Dodgers through the first 3 months. Obviously,
Yeah.
Shohei was doing the heavyweight. The rest of the lineup, no one did jack other than Andy Pajes.
Fielding also big thing for fielding too. Like that's the strong suit. That's the whole big thing with Pajes.
Well, he's like very great at fielding right now, which is, we're just going to knock on wood, hope that continues. I'm just going to pretend that just continues going on. But it's going to be these guys on cheaper contracts are going to have to make a big time contribution. And I see a lot of people, they're kind of complaining right now about Freeland over Kim and getting that last second baseman spot. Here are my quick thoughts on that. Hyun-Sung Kim, if he were to have an 165 AB average, I think he would be averaging around 6 WAR a year, which is all-star level. That is, I saw a tweet going around. These are the levels agreed. They were talking about in the Bible when they talked about a team kidnapping a 6 WAR season player in AAA. But my thing is, I think Freeland, although he's not been hitting as well, not performing as well, I think there is higher upside with Freeland if he were to just start playing projected like AAA to majors. If you were just like take that on par leap up and just be a 730 OPS hitter, okay? The potential there, it's greater than Hyun-Sung. He's younger. The fielding, I think Hyun-Sung's very good at fielding. I don't think there's too much separation there.
No, but I mean, general upside of age is big, and also
and it's
like
the hitting potential.
Freeland's also been tagged as a potential trade guy. And I do think that come deadline season and the Dodgers might be making some moves, like Freeland's going to need to have that exposure regardless. Like he's going to have been up at some point. And I do think that having this be at the start of the season rather than midway through is better because everybody is going to be at the same kind of starting level as Freeland is kind of start of the season. Plus, for Hae-Sung Kim, he's playing he's the utility. He's playing every position. He is playing second. He's
that was
short,
another
he's playing
thing.
outfield. Like he is getting everyday exposure to every possible position and plug and play. So that way, when inevitably, somebody will get hurt on this team at some point, who do you think Dave is going to call up and have play, regardless of position?
Yeah,
it's going to be Hae-Sung Kim. It's going to be Hae-Sung Kim.
Yeah, I think though, we're getting Hae-Sung more ABs. Like at least at the start of the year, we could have guaranteed Hae-Sung ABs right now with Edmund hurt, Kike banged up. Like we have a lot of potential second baseman guys that are not available right now, which is could have contributed to Hae-Sung getting key ABs here. But my thing is, it's just like you would have to burn an option on Hae-Sung eventually once those guys come back if you want. So you'd have to burn that, which if you use it now, he can just get acclimated AAA and the call up. He's also played in the MLB and done pretty well. Freeland, it's kind of like you gotta honestly hope he hits this shit right now, or else it might be another year.
This honestly has nothing to do with Hae-Sung Kim. Like it has nothing to do with what the team thinks he is as a player, that he's not performing well or anything. It literally has nothing to do with that. And I think that if Freeland wasn't in the position that he was in right now, him would be playing. It's just quite literally they want to see what Freeland has to offer. And the Dodgers, we know this. The season doesn't start till August, Grant. Exactly. This is their time to go and be like, well, I want to see what I have in that guy. And we know we have Hae-Sung. It's not like his contract's expiring. It's not like he's not going to be around. Like the guy is going to be good.
Another thing with Hae-Sung, which I forgot, I was thinking maybe they're manipulating service time. Hae-Sung was signed as a free agent out of Korea, so he doesn't have service time. Like we signed him as a free agent, so there's no service time with Hae-Sung. There is with Freeland. There is service time with Freeland, and you could sit there looking at like, well, we're burning time right now, sure. But once again, this isn't a you're the second baseman for the full year. It's like the second we get an inkling Tommy's back, you're back to Oklahoma City, dude.
That's also the big thing is like
this isn't a season long thing.
Like
it's a month-long fill-in.
It really is just that interim spot for injury, and it's you know what you have in Kim, you know where he can go, but you want to see what this alternative is. And Rojas is on the team. He's technically taking up a roster spot, but like I don't know how much he would play. Like, I don't know if he would technically play shortstop.
He should probably play a lot if like
Tommy.
Right now, because Tommy's hurt, like he should be playing a lot. Miggy. Like filling in at second, like,
and I also do think though, like part of this whole thing, if Miggy had retired, both Hae-Sung and Alex Freeland, I think originally was the plan that both of them would be playing. And when Miggy was like, I'm going to come back for this year and then I'm going to retire, I think that changed a little bit. But
okay, something that I just overlooked and just like really glossed over, but like this is going to get Dave Roberts excited. Alex Freeland's a switch. I could not tell you Yasmani Grandal's the last switch hitter, I think. I think Yasmani Grandal's the only switch hitter Dave Roberts has ever managed in his career. And just the thought of having a switch at second base in the lineup, I think Dave's like, I can't get over that.
No, he actually
I can flip the lineup.
He probably is disgustingly happy.
He sees the switch. He just sees an S in a potential lineup.
Isn't Tommy Edman a switch hitter?
He is also. He is.
Yeah.
Shit, this could just be Diet Tommy. Oh, I totally forgot Tommy's a switch. Oh my god. This might just be Diet.
Like that's just like I also think that Hae-Sung Kim is like he's just a fan favorite player, and I think that's partially why everybody was like guys, come on. Like, and I do think that if I know Andy Pages is really good defensively and his fielding is great, But if his batting is kind of the same spot it was in at like the end of last season, and Haisong is doing well in the minors, and they're playing him at center, I could see him taking over from Andy. I
My
know the
one
speed's
thought
not
right
there.
now
The speed's
is
not necessarily there,
I
but
think Dave should honestly get rid of this shit because right now the team is so good we can't be doing this bullshit anymore. But Dave is so obsessed with his lefty righty lefty righty. He's so
yeah,
obsessed with it, and I think because he's so obsessed with it, like Pajes, he has a spot in the lineup as long as he's healthy because he needs that righty outfield bat. Because right now it's Shohei, Muncy, Freddie, uh, Kyle Tucker, and then that last fifth, right now it's Freeland, Young Kim, Edmund. Like that last one, it could be righty or lefty, but like if we want Shohei to hit leadoff and you do your lefty, right, you need 5 lefties in the lineup if you want to hit Shohei leadoff and do that. And
Kim's a lefty.
Yeah,
you're righty.
Yeah, Kim just straight lefty hitter. Freeland's a switch, but I think Dave Roberts is going to view him as a righty. He's going to view him as a righty.
Based on the lineup needs that he does, yeah. I mean, honestly, it will be he will play
Tommy
him
Edman for the
wherever
most part,
it's going to be better for
should be considered
a
righty hitter. He's exponentially better hitting lefties as a righty than he is hitting righties as a lefty. So for him, you consider him a righty. But it's like also the righty bats because it's just
the same thing though. Like Pajes is probably going to be the 9th batter, and at that point, if he's just not even getting on base, if it's 2 righties in a row, or 2 lefties in a row, fuck it. Like let somebody else take that at bat if the fielding is the same, and that's what I'm saying. If they play Cam in the outfield more in the minors, and he's doing really well there. The speed's not as much of a problem, and Andy Pajes is still having issues at bat. I would just switch them and eat that.
I think though with Andy, I'm feeling a little bit of Austin Riley vibes here. Early Austin Riley on the Braves when they were making the playoffs every year. This dude was an automatic out, Everett. Okay, Austin Riley would go up there striking out on 4 pitches. That's the best case scenario instead of striking out on 3. But now Austin Riley in the playoffs will since post-COVID, just an absolute killer. And I think with Pajes, we're in a luxury position where one of our position players, we can kind of baby coddle you. You're just going to start every day. We know you suck, but maybe when Shohei's 36 and you're like in ARB, you might be our Will Smith, and giving you these ABs now could
makes a difference. Yeah, I mean, also don't even forget, Kike is on IL right now. Kike will also be coming back, and that's another mouth that you have to think about getting into these rotations. Oh, yeah. The depth, though, for this team, the depth is incredible, and we've had this issue more so with pitching. That the pitching situation is still not ideal. Blake Snell being out, and Roki not being super great, and you still have to deal with Tanner Scott. But at least the positional players, the depth is very good this year. It's very thorough.
Oh yeah, it's looking good. I think though if we can just get some key contributors, my player to watch this year is Teo. I'm giving him a slight pass last year. Injuries was bothering him all season. Prove us wrong right now, Teoscar. I need a 910 OPS against lefties out of you this season. I know it's in there.
We do this every year, but this is the water boy. I think this will be the way we can wrap up this episode, unless you have something else you really want to say. Every year, the Waterboy podcast gives our predictions for the teams that make the playoffs in the MLB and our eventual World Series champion with the World Series matchup. So last year, I think we picking the Dodgers as my mic cuts out there, but I think I was Dodgers versus Red Sox or something. I don't know what you took. This year, obviously, we're both going to pick the Dodgers to win. That's a guaranteed thing. So we'll have the Dodgers winning one. And then since that's preset, we'll have a fun non-Dodgers pick. Grant, I don't know if you want to go take a second to look at all these teams, have an idea of where things are kind of listed, what teams might do well, might do poorly, who will make it, who will not. But if you need a second, we can go there. We can rip it straight off your mind. I also have nothing, written down, so I'm also kind of just going here at the
I want to
whim.
check one more little thing before I make it. One last quick little
I'm
note.
I'm starting to write down here as we go. Um,
Okay. All right. I like mine. I got my World Series pick.
I'm just writing down my 1 through 6.
And then I'll also give a NLCS pick, who I think
Okay.
Dodgers will
Okay.
play.
Um, okay. All right. You have it. You have it.
Yeah.
You have all 6 teams for both sides.
Oh no, I don't have all 6
Because
teams.
we're going. It's you go playoff teams and the World Series prediction. But
Yeah, we should be good. We should be good.
okay, and I mean it doesn't have to be in a particular order either. That's completely fine. Um, but I'm just writing this down here. Hold on.
Some other sites have every single AL East team projected to go over 500. That should be the race of the year. That should be the race of the year. AL East.
And,
That's crazy. Every single AL East team's projected to go over 500, even the Rays.
I know that is absolutely wild.
I love my wild card pick out of the AL. I am.
I do have a wild card. I really would be surprised if it's the same as you. But I do think that it's not traditionally what teams are predicting right now. And my last team is in. All right, I've got all of them. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to? Just playoff teams first, and then we'll do World Series.
All right, you kick us off, or maybe we could do
Okay.
AL.
AL and then NL.
Let's do ALs and then.
Grant, here are my AL teams. No particular order. Okay, no particular order.
Let's go 3 division champs first, and then your 3 wild cards.
Okay, three division
you
champs.
Pick them in any division, whatever you want.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm missing a team here. Hold on.
Unless I'm wrong and they changed the MLB playoff format.
No. I was just missing a team here.
Yeah, still 3 division winners and 3 wild cards.
Okay,
that would be funny if they.
The seeds are in no particular order. I'm just gonna say the 3 and the 3. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So for the AL, the 3 division winners I have are the Red Sox, Tigers, and Mariners, followed by the 3 wild cards being the Yankees, the Rangers. The Blue Jays do make it back with some roster changes.
Okay. These are going to be pretty similar, to be honest. These are my winners. I think Toronto's going to win the East again. In the Central, I also think Tigers are going to win that.
There's Guardians maybe, but
Royals are projected on a lot of sites.
Royals are solid this year, though.
Yeah, Royals are projected on a lot of sites.
I just know the White Sox and the Twins are both.
You're splitting hairs there between Royals and Tigers. But to no surprise, Royals are one of my wild card teams. In the ALS, I think the Astros are going to win it. And then my wild card teams, one of them is the Royals. Second one, Boston Red Sox. And then third one, New York Yankees. The Mariners do not make the playoffs.
Okay. I do like that. I do like that. I mean, it really does run on the back of Cal Raleigh, and I don't know if he's going to run that back. But if he does,
yeah. I just highly doubt he runs it back again. Another thing that I think kind of went overlooked was J-Rod, it was getting a little bit better, but J-Rod is not the same J-Rod anymore. And unless you're getting crazy performance out of him in addition to Cal Raleigh, I highly doubt this 94 projected win total for the Seattle Mariners. Now their rotation's crazy, okay? I
Mm-hmm.
I'd still give it to the Dodgers right now, but I mean, dude, that Mariners rotation is a wagon. Okay, so don't get me wrong there, but I think we're gonna see some regression out of Raleigh, and it's just
Yeah.
J-Rod. I don't know what we're getting. I don't know, and so I feel like baseball. It's tough to repeat. It is very tough to repeat as division champs. I got Toronto doing it, but I think Tigers as well. Guardians. I think actually won the Central last year, so I actually don't have to
I
repeat there. I don't
think
think
no.
Tigers beat the Guardians in the playoffs, so that's all that mattered.
That I thought the Tigers
But I think
might
the
have.
Guardians won the division, but the Tigers bounced
Okay.
them. So I mean, who cares?
Okay.
Yeah, but okay, yeah, I like those, but let's go to NL.
You go first for NL, then I'll go.
Okay, actually, quick little last thing.
I have a surprise. I think a surprise pick.
Predicting this now in the AL playoffs, Red Sox are bouncing the Yankees. It's happening. They're going to bounce the Yankees in the. I just feel it. I'm sorry, Luca, but I feel it. Okay.
And NL.
NL. The East is so tough. The East is so tough. Who I think is going to win it? I think the New York Mets are going to win the NL East. But by like one game. I'll reveal my second place team a little bit later in the wildcard teams. Central, I'm going. Ew, shoot. Do I really take the Cubs here? They're projected very heavily in many sites. Yeah, I'm taking it again. I'm taking Cubs. I don't think Brewers are going to do it again. That was crazy. I'm taking the Dodgers to win the West. And then my 3 wildcard teams. Who I think is going to finish second in the NL East, hardly, Atlanta Braves. First wildcard team. Second wildcard team, we're going to put the Phillies in there. The Marlins and Nationals are so ass. Yeah, all 3 of them are going to make the playoffs. They all 3 will make it. And then for my last spot, I hate to say it, the Giants.
Okay, so I thought that was going to be my surprise pick, but
the Giants. They do.
I do have the Giants
bullshit like once every 4 years.
So these are my teams. Year. Not super different. I have Dodgers, Braves, and the Cubs, followed by the Brewers, the Giants, and the Mets. No Phillies.
Ooh, okay. No Philly.
So I thought the Giants were going to be.
Yeah, I think that was actually pretty likely.
No, I was like surprise pick Giants, likely. But Grant for the World Series, obviously Dodgers champ are both of our picks. My AL team won't change regardless of that. So I'm picking. I'll just say my non-Dodgers one. Last year I picked the Red Sox. I'm doubling down this year. Red Sox versus Cubs in the World Series.
Okay.
Otherwise,
that'd
Red
be
Sox
fun.
Dodgers.
That'd be a fun matchup. I would love Red Sox Cubs for a World Series.
Yeah.
Okay. My first pick.
I almost did say Red Sox Giants, and I would have had to publicly apologize to the entire podcast for that. So I refrained. But
now, one thing which I actually have kind of just overlooked is the D-backs. They actually made a lot of offseason acquisitions. I'm kind of surprised they're projected sub 500.
It's just the entire NL. The NL is super competitive.
It's
it's so competitive.
We're giving a lot of teams a lot of L's on the schedule.
The East and the West is just so difficult. Like 3 teams will come out of one of those 2 sides, and you just unless you're my bracket, but that's the deal.
Yeah, I think though my World Series pick, I think Dodgers beat Astros in 6.
Okay,
and then
for the 3-peat.
Yeah, but I like.
But non-Dodgers. Obviously, we both have Dodgers.
Astros World Series.
Who are your non-Dodger team?
Non-Dodger. I'll be honest. It's tough for me to pick an NL team that isn't the Dodgers. Actually,
I know. That's why I'm having difficulty. I took the Cubs.
I don't know who would take the Mets. I literally can't.
Oh, I know that the Mets aren't going to make it.
I have a physical reaction
to
a Mets World Series, and my body's just like, Grant, that's never going to happen. So don't even. So I'm going to say, in this hypothetical, Braves I'm still picking the Astros. I love the Astros this year. Yeah, Bisbee
The AL
Astros.
teams, the AL teams don't change. I
I
don't
think it'll
think
be
when you make the
tough for the
picks.
Blue Jays to just it's just
I think
so
the Blue
hard to
Jays are
make it
getting
back
first
to the World
rounded. I think
Series.
the Blue
Yeah.
Jays are going to lose in the
Yeah,
first
I
round.
think it's
So
just so tough to make it back. It's so hard.
yeah,
Uh Yankees, yeah, kind of been there. I want to say Red Sox in there. I want to do it.
I did it last year. I'm doubling down this year.
Yeah,
Um,
I want to. I think there's a chance Roman might be nuts. Roman might be crazy this year. He might be like fourth in MVP voting.
we'll see. We'll see. But
That
with
reminds me, I
that,
gotta do my fantasy baseball draft by Tuesday night. I'm doing it for you guys.
I might have to join you.
For I'm gonna have to give you an invite, but for
You're
me
gonna have to
to
send it to me.
keep up with non-Dodger baseball players, I need to do a public fantasy ESPN baseball league, which I spend a total of four minutes
Seconds.
every morning, quickly just making sure I got a player in each position, and then we're on to the next. But I'm gonna track it this year, and once again, no Dodgers on this team. I know all the Dodgers. This isn't about you guys, okay? This is about the rest of the league.
um, yeah. But with that, I think we're gonna wrap up here. So thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TV, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. You can follow me on Twitter at Everett6 and at Waterboy Grant.
Oh, shout out JSN. He got a lot of money, but yeah.
We'll break that down next episode. But a lot of implications for that. But post new episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Make sure you subscribe and turn notifications so we have a single episode. We also post exclusive content on Instagram and on TikTok as well. So make sure you check us out there so you miss anything else. And with that, we will see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.